Well, hello, hello, citizens of the world. Shaba Shams here, and welcome to another episode of Shaba Speaks. I am so happy today, after a long break, to have my beautiful daughter, virtual daughter, Raheen Fatima, back on my platform, and I am so happy to see her. And the reason I love having Raheen Fatima over is because every time her and I get together, and we kind of do a flashback of what happened over the past years, or at least since the last time we spoke, and then direction to the future. And it help us always to reassess and share our growth over time because we haven't seen each other in a while, I would say a long while. So, Rahim, welcome again on Shaba Speaks. I'm so happy to have you.
It's a pleasure being on. Thank you so much for having me. And you're really right. It has been a while. Like it's always something comes up, and we're like, okay, let's put that on hold. But finally we're here. We're talking, and it's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure because you and I, we were just talking about it. We met when you were 12 years old, and I have been fortunate to be part of your birthdays, and the next one is turning 15, which is a big thing. So pretty much I met you 12, you were not a teenager yet. And then here now you're entering this amazing phase and chapter of your life, experiencing life as a teenager. However, looking at you, I really don't see you as the regular or normal teen who's just worried about her, crises and hormones and kind of just going crazy with the parents. I don't see that coming from you. And the reason is because you're very, very grounded, very mature for your age as well. And you're involved in such a life that helps and impacts other people's lives that I guess you're not really into whatever madness is going on in your brain as a teenager. So tell me a little bit about how you keep yourself grounded and the support you get from your entourage to not fall into the tricks, I would say, or the traps of the teenage life.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I saw like a lot of changes in me, after I turned 13 and 14. Like for real, there's so many things that you wouldn't find annoying, and you just find humans annoying at some point. You're like, oh my God, what is this? And you just like wanna be in a shell. I mean, there's definitely these things, but I think because I have like been professionally working since I was 11, been networking since I was 10. So, it has been a while, and it's because of that, when, those sort of hormonal changes and those changes in my life really hit me, I knew how to handle them. And I really didn't go that mad. Like there are like really few changes and I didn't go that mad. I think because of my parents, they've kept me grounded. And I think the time that I could have went mad was probably when I was like 12, because at that point in time, at some point I was getting so many views and so many messages every day. Because when I started doing Facebook Live interviews is when I really hit off. And that was almost when I was like really near 13. So it was like that sort of time where I could have like went off. But I think my parents and my mentors and the people around me, like yourself and Rehan and so many people, I think they kept me really grounded, and they treated me for like who I am and not those billion things that I do too. And I think it's really important with the treatment that I got, which is like just making me be really, really humble, was why I am this way. Otherwise I would have definitely gone crazy.
So I've been with you and following you and following each other and part of each other's lives for a while, for a few years now. And I saw that your description have changed over the time. Like at the beginning, when I met you, you were a comedian and maybe a something else and something else. And now, mashallah, your descriptors are expanding. So what have you added, let's say, in the past year to your inventory of the things you do, or the descriptions of how you define Raheen Fatima? And which one would you say is really it? And I know we started talking about another topic that is now your direction, but we'll come back to that in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, when I met you, I was really focused back then on like interviews and interviews, and that was like really my only focus, so to say. But like stand-up comedy sort of time that I had passed by the time I met you. But like sort of saying the last year, focusing on that since I turned 14, my focus has really been into podcasts, talking to people from around the world and talking about things that matter, because interviews is just like, hey, what's up, what do you do, and then you sort of discuss that. But like I think podcasts and conversations that are more focused on things like education and peace and climate change and the SDGs and networking and digital literacy and stuff like that, I think are more fruitful, at least for me. Like, cause guys, then like so many interviews, I think that's what really appeals me more at this point. Is like really focused conversations, shorter conversations, more concentrated, conversations. So I've been really into that. And then again, with my whole journey of finding myself a cool and a unique school, I've really discovered that education is my passion, because I really want to help revolutionize education, because there's so many things that are happening in education pretty fast, and I want to be part of that, and I really want to help educate people about important things around the world. We're like really starting from my own community, so that is what my focus is right now, is to help educate.
Yeah, and what a mission. I've been in academia 20 years and I have been an educator all my life. So I see the importance of education in helping, people. Knowledge is an enlightenment, is really key. And when we spoke about mentors, you've had quite few. And now I noticed that you're also mentoring somebody. I'm really curious about that experience and how we come in together, because you just started actually mentoring your youngest brother, right? Because I'm seeing you putting him out on social media a little bit more and having him get more involved in conversations. So tell me about that, and how is his take compared to yours? And how old is he again?
Yeah, he's 7 years old, which is like so interesting. And I go like, oh my God. Like, so the thing with Ibrahim is I really started I had been networking when he was all right. He was like just getting sicker when I started networking, going to events and stuff. And I started doing stand-up after he, was diagnosed with blood cancer. And so his journey has gone through with, the way that I've grown too. And he's been to all my shows, to all my talks, to my meetings that are in person, and so many times like cool interviews. He's like roaming around the room and he's listening, and so he's seen me really grow as a person. And I think with him at such a young age, just him walking around at the National Incubation Center, because I was incubated there, because I had talks there, was the time where he got a lot of exposure. And that's why he's so confident. Like I could just tell him to go to a random person that he does not know and just say hi and introduce himself, and then ask for the person to introduce themselves. And I think even when I was his age, when I was 7, I would be like, no, I really don't want to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. And it's just like that sort of thing. Like, what is the other person going to think, that I'm crazy or something? But Ibrahim's not like that. Ibrahim's a born communicator and a networker, and he loves just the the idea of people coming together. And we've seen that in him since like he was a legit baby.
Yeah.
So I think this is the perfect time to really involve him in these things, because if got involved later than he is right now, and I've been able to build a platform and a voice, I think he should really be able to contribute to it. And it's so cool that he's always so excited to make videos, and so many times it doesn't like even hit me that, oh, we should make a short here, or we should record something here, and he's like, let's do something. So it's really interesting. Mentoring wise, again, he's my baby brother, so we have our moments where he's like super annoying, and then I have my moments where I'm really just annoying him.
Of course.
But yeah, I think it's really cool, and just naturally, because I'm 8 years older than him. He's 7 and I'm almost 15. So it's just like, I think I was put into this thing. But I remember when Ibrahim was about to be born, my mom was always like, this baby is gonna look up to you so much, and I just feel that big sister responsibility, and I hope that I'm able to fulfill it.
Yeah, and the reason I mentioned it is because I think it's just such an amazing thing that you would be taking time, and it's hard. It's hard for siblings to mentor their brothers and sisters, their youngsters, just because, like you say, usually the oldest child finds the youngsters annoying, and they don't get it. And so it's really commendable that you are mentoring your brother in that way, and then it's such an interesting and amazing things to do together. So the reason I mention it is because I really want to see more of these influencers, in a way, bring in more of their siblings and mentor them and help them, because they might actually perform better because they're going to start younger, and they're going to have all the support and the mentorship they need, and that's really, really important. So again, going back to the direction you want to take into your career and life, education, and you can almost like get started with your brother, because mentoring him and educating him and teaching him. Yeah. So your vision for this path, in education, tell me a little bit about it. Is the sound okay? Because it feels like I'm getting some.
The sound is
okay.
Yes, it sounds good. So for me personally, I really love talking about the different ways that education is sort of revolutionizing now. We have PBL, we have micro schools and stuff like that. But again, my focus is really educating the people about different things like digital literacy and career building, and how to build yourself. And because there's so many people, and Shaba, I'm sure like you've come across people like this. They don't even know how to write a good email or how to present themselves professionally. And I think it's really important for the young people right now, people maybe not around my age, maybe a little older, to be able to do that, because I had to learn. I needed to realize that, okay, email is not texting. This is how you email someone, this is the sort of format you follow. This is the sort of language you follow. And so now I'm able to write like good professional emails. And I can, really present myself in a good professional way when I'm part of different projects and different events. But I see so many young people that have, even gone through university that are not able to do that. And I think we need that, because there's people, and there's a lot of talent, and there's people that could change the world, but there's a few skills that you need. And I think I have a beautiful network of professionals like yourself, that can really help people through videos and sessions and seminars, webinars, to like really be able to build themselves, and to sort of like up their skills, so that they can make the positive impact that they're supposed to make as a responsible individual, part of their own respective community. So that's sort of my aim, to educate and utilize my network of professionals to do that.
And along the line of the things that you want to accomplish, what do you consider as being your current or upcoming challenges?
I mean, there's a lot of challenges right now, especially with the whole content thing. So I mean, I definitely want for myself to have more podcasts that reach more youth. Because again, I am on LinkedIn and I'm on Facebook, and there's a lot of young people that view me, but I want for it to be more inspiring. And so right now we have so many things that you could watch. And I want for myself to, I want to grow myself into a way where someone would choose to watch my content. Because, right now we live in the TikTok world. Like, I know, I just got
Yeah,
TikTok this year.
if you're not dancing, you're not getting views.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I got TikTok this summer. And I swear to God, like my attention span since then is just so messed up because it's just scrolling, and it has to be like something really catchy, something like super awesome for me to like stare at it even for like a whole second. So, I mean, I would want to be that inspiring thing that makes someone stop.
Yeah, I am on TikTok as well, but really hardly but whenever I'm there, it's interesting. Like you ask yourself, what kind of videos are capturing me even to stay until the end? And I just realized that if you start by talking too much without just getting in the point, you lose me. I don't know what's the average time that people stay on a video, but normally it's like a couple of seconds that I just see and I'm scrolling. And there are some that are hilarious, but the whole dancing things on TikTok is just like exhausting me at this point, because I think it was fun at the beginning when we were locked down. Yeah, it was hilarious, it was funny, it was nice to just like cheer yourself up with some dancing moves and stuff. But I think it gets old at some point, and I'm still seeing like family dancing, mother and child and whatever. It's like, like how much of dancing TikTok videos like watch after a while, you just get like whatever. And the educational content actually is not really popular, just because people don't go there. They go there for entertaining. So I think it's important to understand what content you need to create for what platform. And if TikTok is about food recipes or dancing or just being like a comedian, like do segments of stand-up or something like that, maybe that's the kind of light content you could create for TikTok. But if you are more of a serious content creator, I believe that focusing on platforms like YouTube, LinkedIn, even Facebook and Instagram would be more suitable. So I think it's important to understand like what kind of content is followed or consumed by users in where. So anyway, go ahead.
And I said, like, I got on TikTok, actually I just scroll on there. I do not make TikTok content because I realized it's really not my market, because it's the people that are on there to see dancing videos is really not my audience. At least I don't think it is. I think it's people that really understand and connect with what I'm saying. And so that's why I made, when I first got on social media, Facebook was my only focus. And then pretty soon it changed to LinkedIn. And now it's between the two, because LinkedIn is a very mature audience.
Right.
So if you're like putting on a panel discussion about education, you will have people that will see and give you feedback and would comment and would help spread and would write like long paragraphs about it. So you have audience that really understands it. Facebook, you have very few people that would understand it, and most of them would just like and comment a few hearts and like just start scrolling
or send you private messages. Are you married?
Oh yeah, oh God. The amount that, and every single time that we, talk, this always comes up. It's like, I think the reason why I really love LinkedIn is like no one sends you I love you messages, and no one sends you, oh, are you single? So I think I don't see audience maturing, because you still get those messages. But I hope one day people realize that we're happy
or block, block,
and
block, block, block,
leave us alone.
or just block. Raheen, we are
Yeah,
at the
I
end
mean,
of
I
our
remember
time.
I used to block and report. I don't even
Oh,
have the energy. Yeah.
I usually just block. That's enough for me. So, Raheen, my love, we are at the end of our session here. It's been really a pleasure connecting with you and seeing where you are and what's the direction. And of course, we're always here supporting you, rooting for you, cheering you. I believe that what you're doing is amazing. So, thank you so much again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was a pleasure. And it's always awesome talking to you.
Same here. So here you have it, guys. Raheen Fatima and Shaba Shams on another episode of Shaba Speaks from the USA. And I will see you on the next one. And salam. Thank you, guys.